Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to smoke and then reverse sear a beef tenderloin. Fairly expensive piece of meat, and I'm going to get this thing out of the wrapper. Looks like a big old long cow tongue, but we're going to get this out of the wrapper, rinse it off, pat it dry, and then we're going to start trimming on it, and we'll be back when we start to trim. Like what you see here at Eat a Barbecue, hit that subscribe button, like it and share it with all your friends, hit the notification bell, and as always, it's greatly appreciated. Okay, we're going to get right into trimming on this thing, and if you've watched very many of my cooks, you know that I want to get all that silver skin and probably most of this fat and stuff off of here because I want my seasonings down on top of the meat. Doesn't look like it's not really a whole lot to do on this side, but we are going to do some. This over here is going to be the work because it's got all the silver skin and crap still left on it. And we're going to carve all that off because I guarantee you that's not going to be a good chew. So I'm going to start right in on this. And you can tell, I mean, this is just hard fat. I don't even know that it's fat. It just would be terrible to serve this to somebody. They'd be all excited. You tell them, I got a beef tenderloin on the smoker, come over and eat. And you give them a big mouthful of that, and it just wouldn't be good. Of course, I guess if you don't want them to come back anymore, that'd be the thing to serve them, wouldn't it? As you can see, if you leave that stuff on there, there's no way smoke's going to get in there, your seasoning's not going to be on the meat, and like I said, it's going to be a bad chew. I'm also being aided in my efforts today by my Dow Strong Shogun Series boning knife. Extra sharp, you be extra careful, but if you're looking for a good knife, I definitely recommend this set of knives. Okay, we got all that trimming done, and really didn't take very long, probably 10-15 minutes. And I mean, there's still a little bit more on there. If you wanted to, you could cut it off, but I think we've pretty much got what we want. Here's the other side of it. Now, as you notice, you have a big fat end and a little skinny end. Well, obviously this is going to cook in no time at all, so trick to that is we're going to fold that up on itself and try to come out with a piece of meat. It's relatively the same size the entire length. So I'm going to use some butcher string here, I guess that's what you call it. That's what I've always called it. And we're just going to tie it up. I want to do a couple down here because kind of got this frog looking like it's getting ready to leap thing going on back here, and if I leave that it's going to cook out and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and run a couple pieces of string back there too. I always double wrap that. Kind of a trick I use on my tomato plants. You double wrap it and it'll stay there, and it gives you time to finish your knot. So that's the way I tie my tomato plants up. I want to get one more there. I think it's in pretty good shape now. So we're going to transfer this now over into this foil pan, and remember what I always tell you, look at it, make sure it doesn't have any holes in it. You'll see the light through them if there's any holes. That one doesn't have any holes, so we're good. Just going to throw that over here into the pan. Should be done with the knife. Now my injection here, it has Miner's beef base, Miner's beef au jus, and a little bit of apple juice to taste. First time I've tried the apple juice, and I gotta say, it ain't bad. What'd you think, honey?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it kind of added it's not really a sweet taste, it just added something to it. I don't know, it added something. So, anyway, I guess it added an apple taste. Inject this thing up. And you want to use a smaller needle. Do you know why you want to use a smaller needle?
Why?
Why, Chef Rod? Tell us, please. We're dying to know. The bigger the needle, the more your injection that runs back out the hole you left. Well, I have some injectors in there that got needle the size of your finger.
That's a good point then.
Yeah, good point.
Get it?
I get it. Point, 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 point. You see that? I injected that way up there and it came out up there. Haven't had any geysers yet. There's one coming out the end. As long as it stays in the pan, I'm good. And definitely when you're trimming your meat up, you definitely want a sharp knife. Just makes the job go that much easier. We all know what the injection does, right? Flavorize, tenderize, and moisturize. That's our goal. That's our goal. And it's going to stay real simple steak flavors on this because, like I said, I'm going to smoke this pretty low temp. I'm going to try to stay 225 if I can. It's the Lord's blessed us with another 100-degree day here. So I think the heat index there a little while ago was like 103 or 104. So it's fairly warm outside. So single wall cooker, we're going to try to stay around 225. And I'm going to put it over on the cooler end of the smoker too. So, alright. The rest of that's going to be used as a mop sauce through the cook. I mean, good flavor and I mean, that's all you really want. Whatever you're going to inject with, whatever you're going to season with, just make sure it tastes good. This is Montreal steak seasoning. I'm going to get the ends and the sides. We'll flip it over here in a minute and get the other side once we get everything on. So call that a medium coated garlic powder. What do you think, honey? Heavy coat? Medium coat?
Medium.
Oh. I'm going to do the same thing with our onion powder. You can see what I'm talking about with the injection running back out. It's all gathering down here, which is going to be good because I'm going to try to, when I flip this over, I'm going to try and keep it up there out of that juice. So I'm going to wash this seasoning off. And this is just restaurant grind black pepper. You can use table grind. You can use cracked peppercorns. It's all up to you. And you can put anything else on here that you want. This is just what I'm sticking with for today. Like I said, at the end, I'm going to treat this like a steak. I'm going to bring it in and I'm going to cut it into probably 1.5 inch steaks. I need to rinse my hands or there's something. Get a paper towel here. And then I'm going to get a good hot fire on my grill. Probably 500 degrees, 550, something like that. And we're going to sear them off and have them just like steak. Then we'll see how that turns out. You just want to stick around for that one. We all might be headed to the emergency room. Get our stomachs pumped. Doubt that. We haven't had to do that yet.
Not yet.
Unless you went, I didn't know. Alright, so we started out with our steak seasoning again. That was the onion powder. This is the garlic. And when I say powder, I guess I should be a little more clear. This is granulated. If you get the powder, it's a powder. And I made that mistake. I just went and bought two. There's the onion and there's the garlic, and they are powder. And I've been down that road before, and I didn't realize it till I got home. So I'll be suffering with that. You'll probably see me use it in some of the videos, and you'll see a big old cloud when it puffs out, because I mean it is like talcum powder. It is fine. Alright, that pretty much does the seasoning and the injection. I'm going to go out and get some fire going out there on the pit. And we're going to let this sit and rest, let these seasonings kind of melt into the meat. Probably take about 45 minutes. And, you know, kind of like any piece of beef, any kind of steak or anything, before you go putting it on a grill or in your skillet, you want to let it come to room temperature. So this has been out, oh, it's still kind of cold. It's probably been out, what, an hour from the time I started with the trimming maybe. So 45 minutes or an hour. So anyway, I guess I better leave that set just like it was. Okay, we'll be right back when it's time to throw this thing on the pit. Okay, we're out here to the pit. It's up to temp. I'll tell you how I got this set up. I got one chimney of charcoals over there in the firebox. I got my water pan down on this end up in the cooking chamber, right where it's coming into the out of the firebox into the cooking chamber. Now I'm going to take this tenderloin, and this is the side that I have folded up, and it's running. It's about 210, 215, but I really don't think this is going to take a real long time. And I'm just going to stick it down right here on the end and let it get as much smoke as it can, because I'm only looking for a temp about 110, because I need to have room to get this thing up when I put it on the grill. You hear the rooster crowing. You go about 110, 100 to 110, because I want enough room that when I come out here and sear these off on the grill, I don't want to end up with a burn up piece of meat, so I want to leave some room. My ideal temperature probably on this is about 145. If you like yours a little more bloody, you probably want to go 135. Somebody here doesn't like it that bloody.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. So anyway, we're going to let this thing roll here in the smoke. Oh, I didn't talk about that. Most of the time I like hickory on my beef, but I really don't have much hickory left. I mean, it's down to just small pieces in the bottom, and I need to go to the store. Anybody want a rooster? I'm mailing to you for free. I'll mail you 2 for free. It'd be like a buy one get one, or a get one get one. I call it a go-go. Call it a go-go. Get one get one. So anyway, that's where we're at. I got pecan wood in the smoke going on there. So I guess that's where we're at. We'll come back here in a little bit when it's time to mop it and take a look at it about an hour. Okay, it's been that hour that I promised you. And we still got a good smoke going. Good steady even smoke. 225 right here in the middle of this cooker. And I know it's running about 200 over here because I've checked that before. So we're just going to open this up. We're going to put a little bit of this mop on it. We're just going to drizzle it over the top. Seems to be the most effective way of doing it. And this is nothing more than our injection in there, which was the beef base, the au jus, and some apple juice thrown in. You know, we're really just trying to get as much smoke as we can on this. That's the reason for the low temperature. Water pan's still looking good. Alright, that's looking good. Now my mop sauce I've been keeping heated up in there on the stove on a low temperature because I want to put a warm liquid. I don't want to put a room temperature, or which today I guess it's still 95 out here at 8:30. Our heat index, the humidity's crazy here today. So anyway, we're going to let this thing go. Probably going to do that again here in 30 minutes or so. But I got to go to the garden. So be back here in about 30 minutes. All right, 2 hours in. Just brought this thing in off the pit. Kept good smoke on it. Kept it over on the cooler end, and stayed on the cooler end. It probably ran most of the time right around 200 to 225. So that being said, here we are 2 hours in. This thing is 115, 115, and 118. And I checked it in 3 spots. Always check your meat in more than one spot. That being said, I have to go out and get my grill going, because I'm going to cut these into steaks, because you know what a beef tenderloin is. It's a filet mignon, and we're going to have some good eats tonight. The other thing I think I'm going to do is make some gravy out of what's left of this mop sauce. So I think I promised that a few videos back and never did it, so we're going to do it tonight. So anyway, I'm going to cover this with some foil, get some charcoals going for the grill, and then we'll be back, cut this thing up, throw them on the grill. Alright, this has been sitting here for probably 30 minutes, and I took it off. It was 115, 118. I just probed it. It's still at 109, so it's just been sitting here resting. Now my grill, I got that thing up. It's right at 500 degrees out there. So we're going to get this over here and we're going to slice some steaks out of it. If I can get up under it with one glove. I guess, and the knife. Now I expect this to be bloody because it's not done cooking yet. So let's just cut into it here. I'm melting my cutting board. We've got the gravy going back here. Keep a stir on that. We're multitasking. So remember, this is where a filet mignon comes from. This whole thing is going to be good, but the best meat in this is going to be in the center. So we're just going to take and cut here in the middle, maybe right by that string.
Well, it's tender.
That's why it's called tenderloin, baby.
Yeah.
baby. And I want to get some pretty thick cuts out of this. So now you can take and I got those all pretty well cut even. But once you cut your first one, you can take it and set it up and get them all the same. Now I'm going to take one out here out of the back. I got a string I need to cut off. This has had 2 hours of smoke, and it still has a few degrees to go here. Probably, what did I say, 109? So we probably got 35 degrees, and we're going to get that out there when we sear this. But some of you barbarians might like that right there. So anyway, we're gonna throw these over here on this plate. Got a good bark. I got to get the string off of that piece, but I'm gonna throw these out on the grill. And we're going to see you at the grill because we're going to do these just like a steak. We'll use a meat thermometer, get these things about 145. So, hey, we'll see you in just a minute. Back out at the grill. And we're going to throw these babies on. And I plan on cooking these like a steak. It's like grill's at 550 degrees. I'm going to throw these things on here. And I'm going to give them about 2.5 minutes aside. Alright, not 2.5 minutes aside. I'm going to 2.5 minutes, rotate 90 degrees, so it's 5 minutes aside. Well, you usually catch me on that stuff, honey.
Sorry.
Now I got some smaller pieces in there, and they're going to cook a lot quicker, so just keep an eye on it. I'll be back in just a second. We're hanging at the grill. Hanging at the grill. And there's like 2.5 minutes, turn them 90 degrees, and then 2.5 minutes, and then flip them over. And we're going to repeat that process on the back side too. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're just kind of hanging out at the grill. Hanging out at the grill. Want some sear marks, honey?
Yep.
Wow. I'm going to get a spatula. You can turn me off again. Okay, here's our steaks. Our filet mignon, smoked and grilled. They're all in the 145 to 150 range, and now they need to rest for about 10 minutes, so we're going to do that. I got some baked potatoes I'm going to put in here. I got some gravy that I made. The link will be in the description, and this is going to be good. We've already been tasting it. It's good. All right, here's our steak. Ooh, look at that. That one came out pretty much perfect. I mean, it's got hash marks on each side. I gotta say, that looks good. That really looks good. The gravy that we made out of the mop sauce, we did end up adding just a little bit more water and a little bit more flour too, because when we tasted it, it was on the strong side. So don't know what the flour does to that to make it that way. But I guess this is a hillbilly filet mignon. We smoked it for 2 hours. We kept the temp way down on it, and then we grilled it off on the grill. You gotta love a cook when you're using all your cookers. So anyway, let's take a little bit of this gravy throw up on here. Because you know all them fancy places, they put a little bit of gravy on top of theirs. Let's cut it and see what we got. See, it's pretty tender. And I don't know if you can see this or not on there, but it's a nice medium. I took this to, no, there's no blood flowing there, honey. I saw you take your glasses off and look.
Guilty.
It just got a nice little pink. It's going to be exactly how you like it, baby. But I'm going to take a bite of it here and see what's going on. It's really tender, I can tell you. It's really tender. It's like melting your mouth tender. You know, you really need to try this. Don't throw those drippings away, or your hot sauce if you got excess. Man, I'm telling you, this is good, and I got a baked potato waiting on me. Until next time, keep it smoking.